know,
was
but she works though. I mean, I think
right.
if they
What is
give
she?
her, a recurring, she don't have to work all the time. This is a woman that
I guess
they
part of it is down to them being willing to actually write something for Donna.
that's
I
what
mean, because mostly in the last couple of years, Donna's been like on the peripheries of actual stories, and they've more or less reduced most of her role to being window dressing. I mean, honestly, I want to say the most profound thing they had Donna do in the last couple of years was they had Caroline steal her pills where she got hopped up that night where she went drinking and her and Thomas ended up sleeping together.
okay. So you saying Donna, but you meant Pam.
Yeah, I'm in Pam.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay,
So
because
it's
I was
like
for
they
a minute
really
I was lost.
so
Yeah.
they really and you're right, Alan Mills is like working with, with daytime royalty. So it would be great if they would come up with a story for Pam.
Even if it's not a
Charlie.
story, I wouldn't mind peripheral. I mean, this is a woman that, just like Charlie, I don't know who the actor is that plays Charlie, but Charlie is a true character. Character. I mean, and that's the way I see Pam. Not only is
Yeah.
the actress phenomenal, but I absolutely adore the absolute character that she plays.
Mhm.
She
Mhm.
is, sister of Stephanie D. Forrester. I mean, she's
Right.
the
Mhm.
opposite of Stephanie D. Forrester. She has no children and no husband. I think that was always a shame. They should keep her involved in something. But I
Yes.
mean, even if it
I
was
agree.
peripheral, I would take it. I would take it.
Y'all remember Pam did have her own storyline where she and Charlie were gonna get married, but
Oh, you're
Queen
right.
wouldn't let her put up Stephanie's picture, and they got into a fight over Stephanie's picture, and Quinn put her foot through
Put in Stephanie's portrait.
face, and Pam lost her mind.
I
The
did too.
wedding ended up getting called off. Yeah, I lost my mind
I
too.
lost my mind that day too because I felt that it was highly disrespectful.
I
But see,
thought it was
that's the kind of
completely
stuff that Brad
unnecessary.
Bell does, and I felt like it was a disrespect to the viewers. Who viewers actually appreciate the characters that pass on and go away to be honored and respected. Viewers like that. We like the fact that Chancellor is named after Chancellor Park is named after Catherine Chancellor. We like the fact
Mhm.
that we could still go in the Demira Mansion and see um, Stefano. I mean, but Bold and the Beautiful, they just don't care. To me, they just really have been completely lackluster and disrespectful altogether and outright of Susan Flannery. And to be honest, well, I'm just gonna say Susan Flannery. That's all I'm
Yeah,
gonna
they
say.
Where is
actually
She got
where
have
is
put
that
done
in
it
her
portrait
to
at?
place.
Darlene. If you want to be honest, they've done it to Darlene too, because there is no evidence of any spectra. Like,
Mm-mm.
that's like one of the main families in the beginning of the story.
It
So
was. It was the only other one. It was, well, actually no, it was Forrester's
The
and
Spencers have been
Spencer's
eaten
and the
yeah,
alive by
Logans.
the Logans, so they don't even
Right.
count
Yeah, the
anymore.
Spectres came around a few years later, but again,
right.
that's a long time.
Hmm.
They were around from the beginning, and yeah, it's just really what it upset me when Quinn put her foot through that portrait. It upset me to no end.
Where's the
It
portrait
was
at
just so
now?
unnecessary.
Because
It hurt me.
the last time we saw that portrait, it was like back somewhere in like a dressing room somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because
You know,
Quinn portrait had been up so long, which I don't care nothing about it, but that day to see that a foot go through it, it was painful.
but you guys, we just saw it last year because Steffi asked Eric to put it up for her wedding, and he did.
Yep, he
Right.
did. He put it up for the wedding.
Yeah, so we've seen it. I was surprised because I didn't recall that he got it fixed.
Well,
Once it,
remember,
I
keep in
think he
mind,
got it.
Carter and Quinn were not at the time that the marriage happened. Quinn and Eric weren't on good terms, so there was no issue, or there couldn't be an issue like with that happened with Pam wanting the picture up because I want to say weren't they still in bad terms at that point?
yeah,
Who?
because neither one of them went to the wedding. Stephanie
Yeah,
even had a completely different minister because Carter wasn't invited. See, he
yeah,
had
they stole it. They stole
married.
it from Judge
Yeah,
Judy.
the bailiff from Judge Judy
Judge
show.
Judy.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
Yeah,
stole him
Quinn
to
or
be it.
Carter. Neither one of them was at the wedding for Steffi and Ken.
But I
And
think
nobody wants Carter to marry him. His marriages haven't been done for good luck anyway.
I think if she and Eric had been on good terms, I think that picture would have went up anyway. She was contentious with Pam because she knew that Pam did not like her, and Pam didn't split hairs about not liking Quinn. I think she even told Quinn that she would never be Stephanie. So part of Quinn not wanting to put up that picture for Pam was pettiness.
Well, it was
Yeah.
it was less than petty. I mean, Pam
Yeah.
flat out basically, yeah. Pam, I think Pam did too much at that point. How you gonna want to have your wedding in this woman's home? Yes, I get it. It was Stephanie's home, but Stephanie's been dead for decades. How you gonna go to this woman home and basically talk to her like ish and want to have her host your wedding? I mean, come on, Pam, that wasn't right.
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't.
I can't blame Quinn. I would fight everybody if I was Quinn. I don't care who. I would fight everybody that came through that door where I lived with my husband and tried to make me, out to be the interloper in their house.
Honestly, I think Quinn viewed that as a symptom of everything that's wrong in her marriage with Eric, to tell you the truth. Because here's the thing. It's bad enough that, and of course, this is no shade to Stephanie the Great herself, of course, but it's bad enough when you have to play second fiddle to an ex-wife who's still breathing. You trying to tell me I got to play second fiddle to the wife that passed away too?
Right.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
Quinn is in, I mean, the whole reason Quirk does not work, there are a ton of reasons. Ever since Brooke flounced her ass in that living room and started talking that mess about how Donna and Quinn needed to go back to the damn desert, and how Eric and then Quinn slapped her down to the floor, and Eric didn't have enough sense to basically put Brooke in her place and tell her she needed to mind her business and not worry about what the hell his wife was doing, like she was responsible for what grown ass people like Ridge and Shauna was doing. Ever since that happened, especially when Eric made it quite clear that they needed to get along, even though all Brooke was doing was trying to figure out a way to get Quinn the hell out, because she figured if I get rid of her, then I don't have to worry about Shauna being on the side to Temp Ridge. All that did was aggravate everything that had already been brewing probably for a minute, and it got progressively worse from there, because all of that happened right before, in the earlier part of the year, before the COVID lockdowns and before they stopped taping and everything, and it only got worse from now on in.
The irony is that Brooke always causes her own downfalls. She was the one who went and got in Quinn's face about how she was going to make sure that she lost Eric and she would be out of the family for good. And then she ended up getting slapped because she over here trying to slap. I need to tell y'all, I missed the first couple of minutes over there on the YouTube because I forgot to start the broadcast. So we talked for probably a good 15, 20 minutes. And none
That's okay. Hey, Steven.
Hey, because Steven's with us now. And I told y'all I'm tired. I'll be better tomorrow. I'm just about to fall asleep. But
Girl, it's okay. It happens. It's Memorial Day. It's been a long weekend.
How's everything?
But I think that Quinn is gonna have to save Carter after she finds out that, and I think it'll all fall together. But the way it's gonna fall is Quinn is gonna get there too late to save Carter. Like she's gonna be fighting with Eric, and then I guess she'll realize Carter's marrying this girl. Because I don't see I don't see Quinn going to Carter and Paris's wedding. Do y'all see her in attendance?
No, because she has very distinct opinions about Paris.
I think she's gonna crash the wedding. Like I said that I think that she's going to get wind of what Eric is doing with Donna. And I don't know, I don't really think she's gonna be too upset because she's gonna see it like, oh, okay, fine. Do your thing. It frees me up to be with who I want to be with. So she goes looking for Carter at Forrester and don't find him, but possibly find Zende. And Zende tells her that, yeah, they went to get to the beach and they're going to get married. And just before she can get there in time, she catch them kissing to seal the marriage. But yeah, I don't think she's going to catch him. I think that's what's going to send her back into a tailspin, that she lost Eric, and on top of that, she lost who she really wanted to be with. So I think it's going to open up scoring Quinn back for us.
Well, the
I
thing
think
is
it's too
that
early.
Quinn could end up in one or two positions. She can end up being the Brook on the horse, getting there to break the shit up in time, or she could end up the Brook running into the end of the chapel after Tridge already get married. I'm just not sure which mask Quinn is going to end up falling under, because Lord knows Brooke Logan then busted up enough weddings.
Well, this is Quinn and Carter's love story, in my opinion. If
It is.
if
It
this is
absolutely
going
is.
to end up anyway, it's going to be with Quinn and Carter reuniting. Now, of course, they're not going to have a walk in the park. Of course, there's going to be a hitch. Either the girl is pregnant, or she's going to be lying about pregnant.
She's gonna be lying. That's the only way
And
she can keep him.
better be
Otherwise, he's
lying.
gonna be like racing to go get an annulment. Like, yeah, okay, let's go get an annulment. But once he found out she's pregnant, that's the only way that she can seal it and keep him.
Not to mention, Carter has handled 90% of the Forrester annulment, so he, of course, would clearly know how easy this is to get together.
Oh yeah, but the Bells ain't scared to give a dude, for to get an annulment when the girl pregnant. Liam and Steffy got annulled when she was pregnant with Kelly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they do defy, the show completely defies the logic of, I mean, I was surprised that they actually let they actually had Quinn and Eric go and get a real live divorce, considering the fact they had nerve enough to let Stephanie and Liam get an annulment when the girl whole big and heavy pregnant for the man, but whatever.
He was
Right,
pressed
and
to get
plus
that
Quinn
marriage
and Eric
annulled.
has been married too long for a damn annulment. I mean, literally. I mean, you can't be in a marriage for 6 years and say you want a damn annulment. You can't. I mean, it's pretty
It's
impossible
ridiculous.
to do an annulment for a 6-year marriage. I mean, in 6 years things have happened and changed. You can't say it never happened. Shit happened
Exactly.
in 6 years. Whether it was kids or property being purchased. No, you can't say it never damn happened after that many years.
Exactly.
You can get a Vegas marriage annulled where y'all met and you were married in Vegas and you didn't know who each other was, and a couple weeks later you found out and when they got divorced. You ain't shared nothing. But after 6 years, things have been shared. Money is shared. Property is shared.
Exactly.
You can't get an
That's
annulment,
been
but
made.
right, exactly. So
The last
And
time
that-
we had a
annulment
Vegas,
of Quinn and Eric, that's silly.
the last
Oh,
time we
I'm
had a
pretty
Vegas
sure
annulment
Ridge
was
and
the
Eric.
same one was when Ridge got divorced from Sean because
Yeah,
of
I thought Ridge and Shauna would have qualified for an annulment for sure.
Of course they
Since he
Well,
did
yeah,
because
because
they
he
didn't
since he
share
was
anything.
drunk.
consummate the
They
marriage.
got married overnight. They never even slept in the same home.
He
They
was
never
drunk
shared
as
anything.
hell.
Right.
he don't
Yeah,
even
you
remember
can't
what
get an
happened.
annulment after being with somebody for years. An annulment basically says that the marriage never happened. It is,
Right.
it literally is not. It didn't happen. You made a big, huge mistake. No harm, no foul. You can't do that when you have children and property and stuff.
We not
Right.
gonna talk about how Brooke talked about something. I'm gonna tell Eric about your craziness. Quinn looked at her like, "Who crazy now? You coming up
Yeah,
in my
also
house?"
Eric already knew
That
she was
bugs
crazy.
me. Like, he absolutely had no problem with the person that Quinn was when he got with her. Now it's a big hiccup. Like, you thought you was getting what in the beginning? No, you
No,
can't be trying to.
the only problem Eric has is that Brooke isn't happy. That's the issue.
That's
He
it.
didn't have no problem with Quinn
Mhm.
until Quinn slapped the taste out of Brooke's mouth and
That's it.
refused to back down.
Yeah,
So
that's
since
what it
that doesn't
was.
make Brooke happy, Eric isn't happy, and that's why Quinn needs to take half. Let him
Quinn.
be with his Logans, but she needs to get her half out of it. Half
Oh
the
no,
stock.
I want to get all of it. What the heck is Eric doing? He ain't nothing but a relic in the hallways, just like Brooke. Let her get all of it.
Well, we're gonna let the man
Nah,
have
they
18%
It's
of the
California.
shares of it.
She only gonna get half.
Right.
In the house. Half in the house. That's what I want Queen to get. Half.
I don't know. She shouldn't be able to get the family home because he owned that home before she married into it. But they should. If she fight hard enough for it, they could make them share it or sell it and split the cost.
very
Because,
possible.
if they fight,
Be
in
cool,
a
guys.
divorce where property is being fought over, if
That's
if,
what I was
if the
gonna
lines, if neither party won't budge, the judge will say sell it and split the money. Done. and
Do
smack
anybody
that
remember
devil.
if they signed a prenup?
They did.
But there was no
They did
prenup.
not. They did not.
So if there
And
was no
Quinn has
prenup,
power of attorney.
everything is up for game.
And
If they
Quinn has
didn't
his
sign
power
the
of
prenup,
attorney.
I'm sorry.
Unless
And
Belle
Quinn has
decides
his.
to get. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying, not only is there not a prenup, Quinn has his power of attorney.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So if anything happens to him, she can take over.
Correct.
Pretty much.
She votes. She can vote all his shares. So
Okay,
if
I
so
wonder
Honey
if John
Badger
McCook
got
going on
Bobcat
extended
while he on
vacation.
top of Donna, she could tell Steffi, go ahead and let's vote to kick Ridge out, and all the Forrester men, and let's take over this bitch. And if Steffi had good sense, she would betray all the Forrester men because they would all betray her in a heartbeat.
Well,
She's not.
Thomas
She
will have her
won't
back
though. Not her
because Thomas
dad.
had her back a long time.
Yeah, but
But-
you
Well,
At the end of
But
the day,
Ridge,
no, let me just put it this way: if Thomas had to choose between Steffi and Hope, you choosing Hope. If Ridge have to choose between Hope and Brooke and Steffi, you choosing Brooke. If Eric has to choose between Donna and Steffi, he choosing Donna. Steffi should not hold no damn loyalty to any of the men in her family.
Wait a minute.
But
Are you kidding me, Sam?
But she will.
I
But
will
she
say it.
will
Let me
though.
say it again.
But that's
No,
the thing.
Did I
She's
say
not
it?
gonna hold all of that against Ridge or Thomas though. I get
not
why
doing
Sam's
that.
saying it, but that's not what Steffi's gonna do.
I'm
Especially
not.
not after the loving that they had in the office today.
I don't care. You know, you're right. She won't do it, but she should. She should.
I
Ridge
was
fired-
going
how many times have Ridge fired Steffi about something Brooke and Hope done cooked up?
Yeah,
Something
but that
about
was
Brooke and Hope.
also Ron
That's all I'm
Moss,
saying.
Ridge.
That's all I'm saying. She should
That's-
not be loyal to them. She
That's not the
should
same
turn
character.
on them the first chance that she gets because
No,
they
no.
will do the same to her.
No, not her brother. Well, okay, now I see what you're trying
Yes,
to do.
her brother
when
did.
it
Her
comes to
brother
this
set
now.
her up with that loser. Her brother said that the loser Liam was too good for Hope, but I guess he was just right for his sister. Thomas can go to hell.
Well, I think that when it comes to Thomas, I don't see it that way. I can see where you're going when you say Ridge, because historically that's what he has done, but not Thomas. Come on,
Not
Sam.
yet.
Because
Not yet.
Hey, I have to take you back to when Thomas got his stock. The only reason Thomas got his stock is because he was jealous that Steffi got stock, but Steffi was the one who was
They got all the stock. Right.
She was the one who was promising her cooch to Bill Spencer to get the damn family company back.
Right.
So Thomas wouldn't put his cooch on the line the way she was putting her cooch on the line to get that family company back. And so she gave the stock out to the people she gave the stock to. And her mama just happened to give her the stocks to help her get Brooke out of the company.
Well, she gave Steffi the stock really because she saw firsthand what was in store for her children at the family company that holds their last name.
Exactly.
That they would be relegated to
The
outside and outskirts so that Brooke's children could be raised up in the company.
Right.
So that's why Taylor gave Steffi 25% so that even if Ridge tried to fire her, she would still have a place at Forrester.
Right.
Exactly.
Don't none of those kids have anything in the company now?
No, they don't.
But that's not the point, though. They didn't have anything then, but Steffi couldn't even, her line that she worked hard for, that she earned, that she was qualified for to do, was handed over to Hope out of spite because Steffi was kissing on Bill. So, yeah, I don't care nothing about that. All of them can kick rocks for all I care. If Steffi got the first opportunity to backstab them and run Forrester Creations and let them have their Logans, I would surely root for every single one of them because Thomas ain't betrayed her yet for Hope. Well, he has, but not in a business way, but he will. Watch and see.
We was waiting for that. We was waiting for it to happen when Steffi came back. When Steffi
Yes, I've been waiting for it.
All right, well, here's the thing. Here's the main problem with all of this. Aside from the fact that, yes, I understand what you're saying, but the thing is, Steffi is not going to fire every competent designer that the company has. She's not going to do that. She's not going to do that. Because if Eric is out of commission, she fires Ridge, she fires Thomas. Steffi designs some, but who the hell is actually going to be designing for Forrester Creation? And Hope,
don't
and
care
I'm
if she
assuming
fire
Hope will go
anybody.
out the door too.
She don't have to fire anybody. If she get enough control, well, hell, I do want her to fire some people. I do want her to fire the Logans because that's her goal. Now, who among us don't know that?
She has more control now, and she doesn't use it.
She don't have no damn control now. She don't have shit. She don't have no control.
She doesn't have any interest in it. She's not interested. That's the thing. She's not interested at all at this point of ridding Forrester of the Logans. They have completely stricken that part from Steffi's agenda. And the 1 minute they let Thomas start thinking about that shit lasted 2 days and they got rid of it. When he was doing his in and out list, that which I personally loved, and I really felt like they could have kept Thomas on that track because I thought it was the right track to have him on at that time. I could have got Zomas and he could have got over his Hope fetish and we could have got rid of all this Logan foolishness, but it just was not what they wanted to do. So they just got rid of it like the 2 seconds after they came up with it. They have not been concerned with ridding the company of Logans.
That's probably because there's not really any Hogans in the company like it used to be. It's only what Hope, Brooke standing around,
but listen,
standing around in the hallway looking like a mannequin.
Steffi doesn't have.
All the Logans work at Forrester. Katie works at Forrester. She's the PR person.
But that's what I'm saying. They are not on script. Nobody's on script but Hope and Brooke.
Right.
Nobody's being shown but Hope and Brooke. So that whole strategy to get rid of the Hogans is basically kind of done in the sense where they're fading out. Like nobody's working on designs and being shown. There's no fashion show. So everything that's mostly been done in Forrester Creation is behind the scenes. Everything else is personal life. They ain't showing
what's going on at Forrester don't matter to me. Steffi has no power. Steffi is co-CEO with her father, that is the number 2 Logan cheerleader. Ridge is the one who has fired Steffi first. He's not stood up for Steffi over Hope, not in my opinion, where it comes to Forrester Creations. Steffi
he did.
Do a damn thing.
He did.
Yes,
he went with the
better
one instead of going with Hope.
Yes, he did.
This new Ridge he did not go for Hope's line. He voted to keep Intimate's line running.
Well, that was truly only about a budget increase. One line got a budget increase and the other one didn't. But yes, he did side with Steffi. But I'm gonna maintain it, and ain't nobody got to agree. Steffi should not owe them any loyalty. They just stab her in the back at first chance they got to get the Logan of their choice.
The first one she should go for is
That's
Ridge.
one thing I can't even believe that's even disputed amongst the Forrester men. I mean, that should be that description about all of them. Logan women first, above wives, children, and every damn thing else. But all of them have dumped their whole entire first families, wives and children's families for these hoes. And you think that Steffi should put them first?
No, I'm not saying she should put them first. I'm saying that whatever it is that Steffi wants in her life now, getting the Logans out of her life is not part of what she wants anymore, or at least it hasn't been in a long time.
It's gonna be on my bucket list.
So I'm gonna say this, and I agree with Sam because Steffi. Well, first I'm gonna back it all the way back because I never got to finish saying what I was saying about Thomas because y'all took it somewhere else. When Steffi got her 25% from her mama, Thomas had a fit and he was mad because Steffi got something that he didn't get. But she was the one who put herself on the line to secure that company and get it back from Bill Spencer. Ridge gave, if you keep talking, I'm gonna mute you. Ridge gave Thomas that 5% to shut him up, but Thomas would have most certainly thrown Steffi under the bus to get more stock if he could have. He was willing to sell Brooke out, which I mean that's common, that ain't nothing. But I feel like Sam, it wouldn't hurt Steffi to turn the men folk at the company out because the men folk at the company would and have turned her out in the past for less than not making the bottom line. Even Ridge, I mean, he supports her now, but we remember a time when Ridge wasn't that supportive of Steffi at the business. But TK's Ridge is a different Ridge, and so I can't hold him to what the past Ridge did. But I remember, I can't forget all that.
Right.
I agree with you. She could, but I don't see her doing that. I agree with you, but she's not going to do that because at the end of the day, she's still a company girl. She's still a Forrester. She's still going to put family above everything else, even if they treat her.
Don't put her, even when they don't put her above everything else.
Exactly.
And that's where it lands for me.
Yeah.
I love Stephanie and who she is and how she is like Stephanie in that way. I love that about her, but it hurts me that she does not get that same loyalty from those men. Those men, like even Ridge right now, like I think it was a week ago too. Teal was tweeting about Ridge going back, leaving Steffi and Taylor's house, Steffi's house to go to Eric's house or whatever. And you know, they saying, okay, that's a good compromise. And I'm like, no, the hell it's not. You know why? Because the simple situation is that Steffi was shot and her husband is dead. Ridge should be able to stay at that damn guest house for as long as he wants to for his daughter. But no, what Ridge is going to do is that he's going to deem, and he already has, that it is best that he leave the house where his daughter is mourning her husband and his grandkids are confused and live with his dad because it won't, so it doesn't hurt his Logan's feelings. The hell with Ridge. And all the Forresters. Eric ain't stopped by to see Steffi damn time. That's not, that relationship, according to the writers, is not important enough for him to make a visit to her while she's shot and recovering and grieving. Thomas, yeah, he's there. But again, Thomas has done her dirty on multiple occasions. Multiple.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't doubt that he would do it again. Let Hope tell Thomas we can get together if you give me your 5% shares.
And she'll give him to it. He'll give him to her just like he gave her Douglas.
Correct. If he gave over his flesh and blood son that he created to her, you know damn well he gonna give her 5% stock. That he can't do nothing.
Carolina's turning over in her grave right about now.
Stephanie is the one turning over in her grave.
Right. And Thomas could have had 25% if he had just kept on with that lie about them damn berries on that island.
Yeah, well, Taylor, since Taylor is a better woman than you know, the rest of them, she made sure that Thomas was looked after because that was dead wrong for Stephanie to manipulate him that way. How, as a grandparent, you do that? You lead your grandchildren down the wrong path, and then she thought that the solution was to take the shares from him so she could divvy him up.
And she gave him that Eric.
Taylor got that together. Well, she always gave her. Yeah, go ahead.
To raggedy ass Eric.
Right.
Brooke and Hope was scared.
My company from me. You could never get shit from me again. I'd have gave my shares to charity before I gave them to damn Eric Forrester's.
She should have gave them to the children that she gave birth to.
Yep.
Instead
She
of
would have
Eric
been better off
Forrester.
giving that
Because you
stuff
know
to
what's gonna
Felicia
happen is
and
Eric
Thorne.
gonna leave it to whatever woman is getting his pickle hard.
And right now it's Donna. That's where it's
Eric's
leading
an
Well,
idiot.
whoever he croaks on top of is gonna get the 18%. Hope, yeah, the 18.5% after Quinn gets her 18.5%.
Well, if he ain't been to the lawyer's office to change nothing, then the chips gonna fall where they made, though, which I would find very surprising at this point. That Eric didn't take into consideration that he needed to do some estate planning since he was on the cusp of getting a divorce before now. But I guess but if he's stupid enough to be screwing around at the health club, I guess he's too stupid enough to update his will.
Oh yeah, but look how easy his divorce, his almost divorce was. I mean, Quinn signed and agreed to whatever settlement that he was offering. She didn't even look at it. She was just like, well, whatever you do, you know. She said it wasn't about the money. So he is not even thinking that Quinn first would leave him, then second would take his money, which I want her to do both and take the house for good measure.
Well, he's gonna lose something, but I do agree with what Can said earlier, which is that at the time that she bust them, she's gonna bust them probably right when Carter is about to marry Paris. So she's probably gonna prioritize trying to keep Carter from making a stupid mistake over trying to bust Eric's balls for him being a dirty, nasty, filthy old troglodyte of a man. Because Lord knows he is. Ugh.
So that won't be right for me. So if the soap opera wants to give me Quinn busting Eric and Donna, for her to immediately rush off to go and rescue Carter, no. I'm gonna need to sit there with Quinn, Eric, and Donna and marinate for a minute, a couple of days. You feel me?
Yeah. Well,
I'm
one
gonna need
is
that to marinate.
well, it's pretty obvious from the setup that we have. We already know that the Fitbit ring is what's going to get him busted, and he's at the health club doing these shenanigans. Like Bubba said, Eric is truly stupid beyond any measure of that I could possibly come up with. So it's pretty obvious that she's going to bust him at the club. So what are the chances that where this little ceremony with Paris and Carter is happening is on the beach at the same club or near the same club?
Girl, what if it's at the club and that's how they end up getting busted because Eric's at one of his little meetings or he's running late from one of his little meetings to get to the wedding and Quinn sees him coming out of a room or some shit after his heart them raced with that ring? What if that's how he ends up getting busted? His heart's racing. He's supposed to be at the wedding, but he ain't. But he's close by.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that's what happens.
That
Wow,
ring
you
is
might
the
be on to
two
something.
in spread change that's gonna get his ass caught. The matter is how. Now, before they came out with this Carter Paris getting married BS for the summer previews, I just figured we all just figured he'd go into some kind of crisis, and Carter and Quinn would show up thinking that Eric was going into cardiac arrest. No, it looks like it's gonna be a bit more insidious than that. Eric is going to be caught exactly where he shouldn't be at exactly the time he shouldn't be there.
Exactly.
And that is when all hell is going to bust open. The only downside to all this is because Carter done sat up here like an idiot and decided that his damn biological clock is ticking or whatever the hell.
He having a meltdown in front of Quinn talking about something. Oh, I want kids. I want a family. And I can't have it with you, so I'm just go have it with Paris. And Quinn is like, no.
You know what would have been great for Carter?
They be having no babies, no way.
They could have given Carter a single dad storyline and let him go try to adopt a child or go find a surrogate or something if he wants to have a baby. I would have been more interested in seeing something like that play out than watching him sit up here mad because he still ain't found nobody to marry yet out of all the dogging he's done over the years. And he's a nice guy, but let's just be honest. Carter is a little bit of a dog because he got doggish ways.
Yeah.
He could have been
Carter used to be a good guy, but Carter has shown that he has a wayward dick, and he is going to use it. Period. So yeah.
So I don't really feel sorry for any of the people in that whole this little quad, pentagram, whatever, hexagram that's fixing to jump off. I don't feel sorry for none of them people because everybody put themselves in that situation. Probably the only person that I feel like might be justified in what they're doing is Grace, because from her perspective, all she knows is that this man has been involved with both of her daughters. One of her daughters ended up leaving town. Like Sam said, we don't know what Zoe told Grace about the relationship with Carter that makes her so against him being with Paris. Because y'all saw
the way that they were talking about how Carter cheated on Zoe, which he actually didn't. I'm assuming it was something along those lines.
Right. And the way that, like, when Julius came to town, he was still Zende's biggest cheerleader. And he wanted Zende to just get back on the horse and find him a woman that was worth it. Grace is the absolute opposite. She is not Carter's cheerleader at all. She don't care about him being the COO of nothing if he's out here breaking her daughter's hearts left and right.
I agree. I have
Which
to
I
agree with
understand.
it from Grace's perspective, because just being a mother, all I would have to hear is he used to date my sister. You know, that's
Yeah.
and then it would be a no right there. Immediately no. I don't want to hear anything else about the young man.
I'm trying to figure out how the hell Paris is going to get herself to the aisle over her mother's dead body, considering the lengths Grace is willing to go to kind of try to quash this. So that's going to be interesting in and of its own. And I agree. The only person who's shooting straight in this story is Grace, because she's the only one whose perspective is flat out straightforward and honest. This is the man who had a dodgy relationship with your sister. Obviously, I didn't approve of how all of that went down. And now you're telling me he wants a relationship, he want to have a relationship with him? Hell no. I mean, everybody else, they on some other foolishness altogether. But Carter then just made this problem for himself. Okay.
Carter has absolutely made this problem for himself. I agree on that.
He's made this problem for himself. And the way he was thinking out, the way he was like talking out, you know, his reasoning for why being with Paris would be a good idea. I was like, boy, you sound stupid and on the edge. And even Quinn was looking at him like, what the hell are you talking about?
As a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up. I found that scene to be absolutely incredible.
It was.
I loved it. I was so entertained by Lawrence literally watching him think it through himself was so damn entertaining to me.
It was.
I'm sorry. I mean, this is the kind of thing I want to see, because you know how we always say, damn, they always telling us something, but they never show us. We never know how something, we never see it. But we literally saw Carter literally at that moment just start figuring in his head. He was that meme with the figures flying all around, the calculus floating around his head. Like, well, maybe I should be in love with Paris. I mean, we do got stuff in common. Yeah, and I want to get married. You want to, just thinking it out that way. I loved it, and I liked the way Quinn was like literally looking at him like he freaking lost his mind. And when she realized what he was saying,
he was rationalizing it.
Wonder why Quinn and Carter are such a hot couple is because the two actors together are incredible. The way they relate on screen, I don't know. I just loved what I saw from them today. And I don't say that every day about Quinn and Carter, but today was one of those days where they were set apart to me as a soap opera.
I agree, because Quinn was looking at him like, have you lost your mind? And he was going through all the emotions and Bubble said it right, he was rationalizing it. He was like, when I was with Paris, and you were with Eric working on your marriage, we didn't have all of these problems. But the fact that he was coming at that from the angle of trying to protect Quinn's marriage is what got me.
He was but he actually made the case for all the reasons. He wants children. He wants a family. He wants to create something special and beautiful and wonderful with someone. He wants to share a life with someone. He can't have Quinn, but time is ticking, and Paris actually wants him. So we called him trash earlier for all that, but it was a pleasure seeing it on screen, and he did make the case to the audience, in my opinion. He made the case to the audience, why is Carter doing this stupid ass thing? That's what I need to see out of my soaps. Yes, it's dumb, but I like the way it happened.
Watch when Grace find out they gonna end up getting married. She gonna have a
Grace is about to report him, so I think it's just really too soon to really try to figure out what's gonna happen with the Carter Grace Quinn and Carter Grace Quinn and what's the girl name? Paris.
We
already know what's gonna go on.
I still think she's gonna try to fake a pregnancy to keep him, because let's say they do get married. They happen to go ahead and get married. Queen can't stop them. They get married. Quinn tells Carter, well, I'm free now. Because Eric then fucked around with Donna and I'm done. So we can be together. You ain't got to marry Paris. And he tells her it's too late. They're married, but no, it's not. You can get a no, but no, you can't because I'm pregnant. You're not going to leave me, Carter. You're not going to be in our baby, Carter. And
You're right. You're right about that.
And Grace will either report him for harassment or improper conduct, but then she'll have to back off because, well, Paris is pregnant now and they're married, so let it go. Or either she'll try to report him right before they get married, and maybe that's what pushes his hand because now the Forresters are looking at him crazy because here's this woman talking about he's out here taking advantage of Paris. Well, damn, now let's just go and get married because I got to prove to these people that I'm not just using you because I still got feelings for Quinn. It's going to get very messy.
Very.
I want it to be sloppy messy.
And the thing is, the two points of contention that I see. One, the fact that this is all supposed to evolve in the summertime, I think it's going to be very interesting that for Zende, having sat up here and co-signed this bullshit and said that he was fine with Paris and Carter pursuing a relationship, when he was ready to drop the ring and get married, it was all, oh, have fun, be single. But now Carter and Paris are about to be at the altar saying I do post haste and quick fast in a hurry, probably before the 4th of July at this point.
Now that should make Zende mad because Paris is doing the exact thing that she just told him not that very long ago she didn't want to do at all.
Right, exactly. This is why this whole Paris and Carter marriage thing is weird. I mean, literally, Paris and Carter bonded over the fact that she didn't want to get married. Carter broke up the engagement, remember?
He successfully broke up their engagement because remember, Zende was going to do that to him and Zoe. If that text message had gone through, you cannot tell me if that text message hadn't gone through that Zende wouldn't have tried to be with Zoe. But when the text message didn't go through, he thought she ignored him because she was serious about Carter. But that wasn't the case. She just didn't get it. Weeks later, when she got it, she freaks out because, well, damn, I just lost this opportunity. Like, that's like finding out that you had the winning lottery ticket, but you misunderstood the numbers when the people read it and you put that shit in the shredder, and now you can't get it back because who shreds a lottery ticket? But you did, and now you lost out. And that's what Zoe did. She put her lottery ticket in the shredder because she was over here looking at Zende thinking that he might be a better fit than Carter. And she ended up losing both. But Zende was complicit in that. He can't say that he wasn't. He told Carter that he didn't tell Carter about what was going on between him and Zoe because they weren't that close of friends. So I don't understand how Zende would even be upset with Carter because turn back to fair play. They did it to each other.
They always doing it to each other.
Did Darlene make it?
It looks like she might have gotten kicked out. I'm waiting for her to come back. And then everybody got quiet. Reginald's got his menu.
Yeah, I have mine.
Typing. That clicking sounds like typing. That gets on my nerves. I need them to fix that. That's the only thing.
Typing in the text when you're chatting?
Yeah. That's what that is.
You can hear that?
Yes.
Watch. So listen to this. Tell me if this is what you hear. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
That wasn't me. Okay. Tell me if you hear this.
Yes. I hear that.
So you can hear me typing from the into the chat.
Yes, I can hear that.
Wow.
Is that on your phone?
Yeah.
You know what? That's the sound we've been hearing. Have you been doing that the whole time?
Tonight?
No,
I've
like
been doing it a lot.
no, I mean during
Yeah, that's
Every day?
me, Sam. That's me chatting.
Yeah. Every day I chat.
girl, that's you making that noise we've been sending to the StreamYard people talking about, can you fix it?
Mute your chat.
It can't be. Because I've been hearing that noise that y'all
You
talking about.
just
And
gotta
that's not
mute
my
your
chat.
chat when you tap it on the phone. Just mute your mic and then it'll go away.
Oh, okay. Let me try.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So if you're on your phone and typing, that makes sense now. That makes so much sense because I'm sitting here and I'm like, the cadence of that is like me being in typing class and somebody next to me is doing a speech.
Wow.
Somebody's typing. And she's doing it on her phone, but it's crazy because the cadence of it felt like typing. So that is
She
wild.
going super fast. She typing them words fast. Yeah, that's why I've been muted so long because I've been in chat.
So listen, I found out recently that I can actually type on my phone keyboard without looking, just like I can type on my work keyboard without looking.
I can too. I mean,
I know, it's insane.
Darling said, "Let her in."
oh girl, she didn't beep. I'm sorry.
Because everybody,
It's okay. I'm away.
probably.
I'm not at home, so I didn't have my back. I'm not on my computer. I'm actually on my cell phone, and I'm usually on my computer with this. So I've been accidentally kicking myself out through the night.
Well, we're gonna tell you since we just learned, if you're in the chat and your phone is not on mute, that popping kind of sound we've been hearing is people typing on their phone without the phones off of mute. So we fixed our audio problem. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
The StreamYard people and probably opened up a case. She says this happens every night. We can't recreate it. It's us. the calls
well, at least they tried to fix it.
Yeah, they did. Like they're really on it. I like StreamYard because if you report a problem to them, they try to get right on it. You're actually assigned a person. So if something was to happen right now and I clicked on chat, I think his name is Andrew or something like that. He would just pop in and tell me what steps to go through to try to fix whatever it is. Like to have a live person walking you through troubleshooting while you're on the broadcast. We were never gonna get that on Spaces. Y'all know we would. Twitter would never
Never.
Yeah.
They got all these other non-related issues they're going through to fix some shit. They to be bothered with fixing their features.
Right. So we figured it out, and I'm so excited now. Like I feel like we did win something tonight.
We won.
We won something tonight, you guys.
We did. Now I don't know if the topic to this, though I could tell from some of the comments, it looks like y'all have been weighing in on who Taylor's gonna be having her hot girl summer with, since it's obvious that Ridge is going back to the same old.
It better not be Deacon. I know that much.
Okay, can I give my opinion? Can I give my opinion since I've been quiet and nice?
Go on, girl. Go on.
Okay. Now, I'm thinking outside the box. Now, everybody's saying that everybody was down in Louisiana. That matters. But they was down at the fan event. And I want to know why Windsor was there. So I'm thinking maybe Thorne coming back on script and he finna get back with your girl. Like, it makes perfect sense to me. And I would love it because I really don't want Taylor getting back with, I don't want her getting with Deacon and I don't want her getting with Bill. Like it makes no sense.
Windsor
was there. Windsor was there.
So they talked about that on Casey's after show. I don't know how many of y'all ever go to the after show after the bowl live, but they've been talking about this thing in Louisiana. I was supposed to go, but my dumb ass booked clients, so I'm at home. But I was supposed to be in Louisiana because they were talking about everybody that they planned on calling to come back because they've done this before down there.
Yeah.
So they had mentioned Windsor long before he came back for that guest spot. So I think it's just coincidence. I don't think Thorne is coming back. Although if Thorne came back, I would only accept it if it was Windsor, and I would only accept it if we could forget that the last time he came to town was under the pretext of is because he never got over Brooke Logan, and then went on to try to help Katie steal her son from Bill. If we can have Thorne back and forget that all of that stuff happened, I would love to have him.
But you guys remember
So
that
we're gonna
when
pretend
Windsor
the
played
Australian
Thorne.
chapter never happened.
Okay, so you guys remember when Windsor played Thorne, he was Team Taylor all the way. Like, that's my interpretation of it. The Thorne that was with what's his name? Igor, what's his name?
Indigo, the Australian dingo.
Yeah, I call him Igor. But when he played Thorne, he wasn't all about Team Taylor and Steffi and Thomas. I would think that is the reason why. Like, yeah, they planned his trips months ago, but it doesn't mean that he is not going to be written on script.
That's true. But also, Thorne has always been sticky where Taylor is concerned. So I kind of figured that he's a little bit of trash too, because Thorne was the one that helped keep up the lie that Thomas was not Reggie's son in the beginning. Thorne has done something. What else did he do to Taylor? Oh, it's gonna come to me, and then you're gonna be like, okay. But I get it. I mean, out of the whole mountain of trash, he probably is the best option for her to.
Thorne also wanted Taylor to actually use the shares that she got to get rid of Ridge, so she can put him in that place. That's what he was trying to do, but it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, right. I think all of them. Taylor just deserves to have a whole new dude because they all infested right now. Just like with Steffi.
We already know who I think she should get, Pierce Peterson, but the show don't seem to be listening to what the hell I have to say these days.
Girl, you and me both. Every time somebody asks who should Taylor be with, if it can't be Pierce Peterson, then just let her be by herself. Since she's been by herself this whole damn time anyway.
She seemed happy about herself because she don't have nothing to worry about.
Krista just too sexy for that. I mean, it would just be a waste. I mean, she can be single in 5 years. I mean, for real. I mean, life is too short. I'm getting old. I don't want to see young people, young, vibrant, sexy people around here, with their skirts all the way down to their knees and not having sex. That's what kills me with Thomas. He should be breaking backs on a regular basis.
Well, we went from a show that had no sex to a show that apparently now supports people having sex. So that is a difference.
Yeah, I'm just like, seriously. Taylor needs to be getting her back broke. Bill should be breaking somebody back. I don't care what Deacon is doing. Thomas supposed to be getting laid. I mean, seriously. I mean, everybody, it seemed like they just dry. If
they might as well just put him back with that mannequin he had.
I keep telling you that Deacon gonna be doing Taylor, but you don't be wanting to listen.
I don't want to hear that. I don't
either.
So
I can't fathom that. That's just
Deacon can keep his Logan to the side. And
he's too much ass to want to be with anybody, let alone her arch nemesis. Like, he can't get a whiff of Brooke. It's like nobody else. I mean, wasn't Sheila throwing it at him, and he was like, nah, and you just got out of jail. You gonna tell somebody, nah?
Right. Yeah, I'm not right. I'm not. And Deacon is the least in the pile. I mean, Deacon is walked on the scene, a known con man. Used her daughter, cheated on her, an alcoholic, ex-con, convicted murderer, attempted murderer, to get out to scrub toilets and be homeless. I'm sorry, but no, he should not be.
Dang, you have to read him like that.
They have just ruined his reputation.
All I'm saying is everybody has one, and Taylor hasn't had one. So this can be.
Have one what? I'm lost. What do you mean?
Everybody has that one big mistake that they make where they were like, well, shit,
But
girl.
it don't need to be with
No,
Deacon.
She
Taylor
It do
did.
made
not need to
His
be
Taylor
with
name
made
was
plenty of
James
those.
Warwick. She had her mistake. His name was
Right.
James Warwick.
All
That's
Ridge
different.
Forrester. And Ridge
But
Forrester.
you said
And
everybody
Thorne
gotta have one.
Forrester. And
That's
Thorne
not
Forrester.
the same thing.
Don't forget about Eric.
So yeah,
Yeah, y'all know it's not the same thing.
Brooke had about 12.
Y'all know it's not the same thing. So I'm not even going to sit here and entertain y'all's fake confusions. You know what I mean?
Okay, so Deacon is finna be Brooke and Taylor's wrong. Like everybody know, he is the absolute worst person that she have slept with. Brooke slept with. So now it's gonna be Taylor's turn.
Taylor gonna have to be with somebody when Brooke and Ridge get back together, and Deacon's little heart gonna be broke too because I really thought I had a chance this time, and you didn't because Ridge and Brooke always go back together, and when they go back together, then that's gonna leave that's gonna leave Taylor and Deacon licking their wounds with something else in common besides being the only ones who trusted Sheila and gave her a second chance. Now they're going to be a member of the Bridge Cast-Off Club 3.0 or whatever damn version we on.
They could bring in a new man for Taylor, and they can let Deacon on his merry way. The only reason he backs because of Hope.
I concur.
I
And
mean,
and Tara did post the spoilers because saying that I guess Brooke and Ridge are going to sit down and have a conversation about the terms. I'm doing that in air quotes of his return to the manor. And I guess part of his terms is that Deacon's free pass to Shea Brook gets revoked because then you have Deacon and Hope talking about how talking about asking Brooke to consider their relationship. Now, see, I'm laughing at that because Hope had said before that, I could have been meeting my dad at a coffee house. So him not being able to come and go from Brooke's house doesn't have anything to do with her relationship with her dad. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to prevent her from meeting her father or having a deeper connection with him if that's her wish. I mean, if anything, I would say, shouldn't that help you get your daddy a better job so he can get his own place so that you could go over there and meet him sometime?
Hope relationship with Deacon only interfered when Brooke allowed him to have rights to Ridge's house. And that is the only thing. I don't understand why they just trying to make it seem like that they only got separated because of everything that Sheila did. No, he was there to support you when you became a lush again that night. He went to the meetings with you. No, he left you because you took Deacon's side yet again. Everybody's forgetting that because they pushing a whole new narrative.
No, Brooke is forgetting what she did to kick all this
It's
off.
more convenient.
Ma'am, you got all up in Sheila's face. You clearly said, I'm going to keep you from Steffi and Finn, which set off Sheila to make you drink again. Tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Oh, I forgot. Brooke can't do that because she's always thinking about herself.
Right. Because she didn't want Steffi to be by herself thinking that somebody was going to go after Liam on dried up ass.
She don't want Liam.
Speaking of that, since we brought that up,
with his cabin.
How lovely was it that despite the protestations of many, because the thing is, Brad Bell, he has this way of kind of throwing out these spoilers that don't make any sense. Because remember, his whole thing was that Steffi was supposed to end up in a new romance. Steffi ended up in a new nothing. She's still in mourning for her husband. And it looks like Taylor is the one who convinces her to take, time off from work, go knock around Europe, take Amelia with you. We're going to go with your kids so that you can truly, grieve and, come back when you're ready.
Oh, so Liam will have a fit.
Well, that's the thing. If I'm not mistaken, it probably won't be Friday of this week because I think we're a day off. I'd have to go back and look. I can't because this thing is not very. StreamYard is not very friendly with me browsing Twitter while I'm on StreamYard if I'm on my phone at the same time. But the spoiler was that Steffi was supposed to tell Liam, was supposed to have a heart-wrenching goodbye. Well, obviously that goodbye is going to be Steffi and the kids, packing up and going to Europe for a while she is grieving. So that's probably going to be the Monday show, I would think, if we're off by a day now.
I think because today's episode was supposed to be Friday's episode. So is she supposed to leave tomorrow?
Well, hold on, wait. Amaya says that it's Wednesday.
So it's Wednesday, and that's the day Finn gonna open his eyes.
I don't know.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying when she leaves is when he gonna wake up.
Agree.
That would be great.
And that's what's gonna send Lee into a frenzy.
Well, Liam don't know.
No, I think Reginald said Lee.
Lee gonna go into a frenzy because she's gonna try to figure out, now how am I gonna keep this quiet now that he's up?
I want to know what Lee is going, what her plan is once Finn wakes up.
After she done
if
backstabbed
Steffi
the
leaves on
Foster family
Wednesday-
for the last couple of days, talking about some, Steffi is not good. What, ma'am?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She ain't backstab nobody. She don't know them damn people. And that
Right,
her
but-
son is
True
shot
that.
them damn people.
She said that, just like you said, them damn Foresters, basically. And so that's where Lee is. So she did say that she wanted him to get well to go back to Hayes.
Yeah.
Steffi and Hayes. So
She can blame Jack for Sheila.
so if Steffi leaving the day after tomorrow, she's not going to see anything extra that she's going to hold against Steffi more than she's holding against her now. I want to know what her plan is once Finn open his eyes, period. What is her plan? What was she planning on doing?
Well, I think Steffi going off to Europe with the kids is kind of going to put a small bit of a kink in whatever her overall plan was, because it doesn't seem like Lee's intention was, to keep an awake Finn away from his family.
Right.
But the thing is, once Steffi is on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, this is not something that you do with a phone call. She's not going to pick up the phone and say, yeah, Steffi, by the way, that whole thing about Finn being dead, total exaggeration. He's alive. Yeah, so you might want to come. She's not going to do that.
That would make more sense than her trying to hold him there until she get back. I mean, a phone call?
Yeah, they're not going to.
Sense. It would make sense for her to call Steffi and tell her to come home.
She would.
Might not say that, Finn is dead, but if she say it's about Finn, Steffi would come home.
Right, but then there's no drama there. So they're not going to really do it like that.
When Finn wakes up, he gonna look for his wife. He gonna say, Steffi. Because the last thing that he saw was being shot by Sheila saving Steffi. So he's gonna want to see Steffi. So when he found out
his first words could be Sheila.
Just like Steffi's first words, Liam.
Your first word wasn't Liam.
I thought her first word was her husband.
No, she didn't remember.
She didn't remember him.
She had a whole conversation with her family even before Liam took his dusty ass in there.
Yeah.
It's the fact that she faked sleep when Hope came in. I think she knew Hope was in it.
I think that she just don't like Hope. And even if she didn't know who in the hell
that's fine.
She just knew she didn't like her.
I'm fine with her not liking Hope. That's okay.
Somebody that been in my life for the past all my life, and we never got along, I probably would sense it even if I didn't know.
That's one of the most incredible parts. Oh, go ahead, Ken.
I said, yeah, that type of disgusting, like, you can't forget that. Like, you're not gonna forget not liking Hope. They've been rivals for too long.
Hope will take her weird self in there trying to tell Steffi about Finn. Ma'am, don't do that.
Also, can we talk about the editing? Seems a lot crisper. I noticed that Bubbles made a comment about that new little transition still that was there that they used to hop between scenes.
I saw that.
So it's like the feel, how I put it, the feel of the show is kind of it, and I think that part of it has to do with the fact, like she mentioned earlier, that we actually got an A, B, and C story today. We never get that in bold terms these days, but today we got it. We actually got 3 different storylines playing out inside of the 19 minutes that we get. And part of what helped it move was that they did those transitions quicker. It just felt like the way that whoever is in charge of editing, they edited it in a crisper way than they had been doing before.
It's
At least to me.
stunning from a director, photography, cinematic standpoint. That those shows are absolutely stunning, just visually stunning. The lighting, the whole way that the scenes are put together, like sometimes it's hard for me to concentrate on what they're talking about because I'm looking at the scene itself and I'm like, I don't know who put this together, but this is beautiful. Like this is just stunning. The camera work, all of it. Like
I'm noticing
beautiful.
I'm noticing the camera work as well. The day when Finn was revealed to be alive, how they slowly brought it up to Finn's face. And also today, the camera angle for Finn was definitely way up high, like the camera was looking down at him from the ceiling on an angle. And I noticed that because I see it all the time on General Hospital. I see all the time on General Hospital where it looks like there's a camera up in the ceiling. So literally that it looks down onto people like at an angle. So it gives it a very beautiful view where you're not only seeing the people, but you're seeing a gorgeous view of the room.
Yes.
Now, I noticed that today with Finn's camera angle. However, that room is tiny, so it wasn't as grand as what it appears when it looks like on GH when, they're in the Quartermain foyer. But I'm noticing that the cameras, whoever's doing the cameras, it's definitely something different. There's something different with the camera work. Just like with the dialogue, we are getting less repetitive dialogue. We're still getting it, but we're getting less.
Yeah, and they are actually using different words to say the same thing instead of using the same words to over and over and over and over and over and over again. Say the same thing. My husband, her husband, her husband, her husband. Like,
why did I drink? Why did I drink? Why did I drink?
It doesn't make sense. Why did I drink? Why did I drink? My son, I shot my. But they kind of mix it up. But they used to beat us over the head with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to read the credits to see who directed today, and they did the speed through credits today. So
what they did with credits?
They sped through them, so we didn't get the full set of credits.
Oh, they sped through them?
Yeah, you know how they have the short version at the end, and they just show you the producers, and that's it. That's what they did today. They ended on Cynthia Popoff's name.
Oh.
Because I just tried to watch I just fast forwarded to the end because I wanted to see who directed today. I wanted to see who.
Well, let me turn on my TV because I got it on my cable box, so I know I should see.
It might be on the credits that would have played out at the end of the show today, maybe.
That's what I just said.
That's what I'm going to pull them up. I'll let y'all know.
The end, and it didn't go all the way through. Like I'm literally got it on the screen right now, and I'm at the end.
What do you watch it on Paramount?
Yeah, I'm on Paramount.
Well, Sam, do you DVR the show?
Yeah, I DVR it. I'm pulling it up now. My TV was off, so it takes
a minute. Maybe they might have gave more on the DVR version instead of the one that got posted to Paramount.
That's what I'm thinking.
Possibly since it's on the DVR, but
we'll see.
Maybe there's no commercials here.
I'm just waiting for Lee to show up at Steffi's house before she leave with Finn's ashes. I'm just waiting for that to happen.
I wonder if, because Steffi was still talking today. Okay, so here go the credit thing.
Okay, directed by Anthony, written by all those people. There's the
I didn't even see any.
Supervising director, producer, created by the Bales. And close credits.
Yeah, I didn't get any.
Recorded at television studio. So, yes, there were no credits at the end today.
Yeah.
I guess I could always ask Casey in one of the lives or one of his IGs who
Yeah, you probably, yeah, if you ask him in an IG, he'll probably get it for you for a live.
who is the camera person and the editor doing the work on all of that, because it is cinematically gorgeous. Like, it feels like they got a new DSLR camera or something, like they shooting in 4K. Like, I almost feel like I can reach out and touch the people. And my TV's not that great of a TV, but I've noticed that the quality has really stepped up its game. It's sharp and crisp.
Yeah, I agree. Even to the fact that you never really could tell that Jackie's eyes are green, but literally one day you could clearly see her eyes were green. I was like, wow.
Yeah. I saw them today. I was like, have her eyes always look like that?
They always have, but it didn't really come through on the show like that. Not to me.
Yeah, I feel like they done paid somebody some money. They done got a budget. They got an influx of cash or something, because
if they got an influx,
doing a great job.
If they got a 2-year renewal, hell, they might as well spend money to make it look good.
Because if they got some money, the first thing they did was they hired someone to oversee everything, because everything is getting better. It's not just the writing, it's not just the directing, it's not just the camera, it's not just the hair and makeup. I mean, come on, guys, have we noticed that we've been seeing less wigs?
Yeah.
Better wardrobe.
Wait, well, they did renew the contract for 2 more years, so maybe that was a part of the contract that they get more. They owe. I'm sorry.
I was just about to say they probably had it in the contract that we will extend you guys for 2 more years. But here's the thing: you got to get your shit together. We ain't got but 2 shows on this station, and if you want to keep soaps alive, y'all got to get your shit together. We will renew you for 2 years. We'll even give you a little bit more money, but you're gonna have to get your shit together. Pull your people together.
That's probably what it's been all along. CBS tightwad. They probably wasn't coming up off no cash.
Yeah, but they came up off some cash because we got a destination shoot. So
we got a couple of them, right?
Yes,
we got a beach and Paris.
Yeah, they said destinations in the U.S. and Paris, right?
Right. So it's a couple of them going from none to just, and what, this past year to going for 2. That's excellent. To line up the year.
I mean, yeah,
and
with
it's
none
all
of
going
us.
to be done this last half of the year too, because it's all going to happen in June or July and after.
I mean, yeah, we know that they've had, travel restrictions and everything because of, the pandemic and everything. But will anything ever beat the absolute terribleness of green screen Vegas when Ridge and Shauna were going around Vegas with him getting drunk? That was just awful.
Those pictures.
Yeah, green screen Vegas.
You said green screen Vegas.
That's what it was.
I still got pictures of green screen Vegas because that was one of my podcast episodes. That was fun though.
Yeah, because Shauna was fun. I mean, Shauna was a great character.
Where is Shauna?
Hell if we know, somewhere talking to Flo off screen, because don't nobody talk to Flo on screen.
Flo should be. I can't stand Flo. I mean,
they might as well bring Ivy back.
I mean, that's literally a character that I don't like. Just the character. When you not even about what the character has done. When I say the character, I ain't talking about their deeds. I'm talking about the character of Flo. What is interesting about the character of Flo?
The only thing that we only know about her is now she's a cousin of Hope.
Not a damn
no,
thing.
I said interesting.
About that kidney, she is no longer interesting.
No, that wasn't interesting. That's a part of the story. I'm talking about the character.
Oh yeah, well, she's not. She's bland.
Exactly. There's nothing there. What do we know about Flo? Is she from Vegas?
She was Wyatt from high school. And
that's about it.
Is she from Vegas?
Wyatt in high school, right?
She's from
Vegas.
She's Stormy's only daughter. She's
Only
Stormy's
child.
daughter,
Which none of us
Stormy-
gave a damn
Stormy ain't
about. I'm
claim her.
sorry.
but she's Stormy's only daughter. We'll have to.
And we know she got at least $50,000 in the bank from Steffi and Taylor. So
We know she got baby money.
and
And
I
that
don't know.
Reese went to jail owing her $10.99 for that money.
We
You know
know,
what I'm saying?
we know she's not opposed to stealing babies or helping to traffic babies.
She tried to say, "Oh, I didn't know."
We know that she's just like her auntie Brooke. She likes stealing other people's men for fun and calling it oh well he was mine first. You know, she get that from my cousin Hope too.
Yeah. We learned that she cannot untie knots because that pantyhose had her, girl. That pantyhose had her. She can't untie knots. So we know
What does she do for a living?
she
What
works
does she do?
for
They tied up to a radiator.
No, but so you say she worked at Forrester, but that's not what she do for a living. We know she was handed a job at Forrester, but what does Flo
but
actually do?
she is
She was a car dealer, according to Reese.
Oh, okay. So she was a car dealer. Okay,
Right,
there we go. We got something.
Yeah, in a
So
Vegas
Flo
casino.
is a car dealer by trade.
so she's
Well,
in sales. She's a salesperson. And she works with Katie in PR, Forrester PR. That's her
but
job.
no, we can't because we're talking about the character. This character, we talking about just the when I say a character. So let's say Eric. Eric Forrester is a designer of the most lucrative fashion house in America and probably the world. Well, he's at least on par with all the best in the world, right? This is Eric Forrester. That's what he does. He is a designer, and that's what he does. He is a husband. He is a father, and he is grimy in all this, that, and the other. We could say a lot
He's
of
a
things about
serial
Eric.
cheater.
He loves honey.
Yeah, we could say he cheats, but he's a wonderful family man when he's having his family over for Christmas and playing the piano. He sits around and plays the piano. He raised his whole family. Now he might have cheated, but Eric raised his family with Stephanie, and that family was whole. And his holishness didn't come out until they was all grown and they was grown themselves.
And he also assisted Brooke. He also assisted Brooke in having half of the characters on script related to one another.
Yeah, but as a character, at least Eric got something.
I was fixing to say something. What did you just say about him? Oh yeah, raising the kids. You can ask Stephanie about that because she said that he was the fun parent. He didn't really actually help her raise them kids. He was the fun parent that them kids liked because she was the one holding it down and making sure that everybody didn't fall apart. Kids got to school and had discipline in their lives.
That's what you call balance.
You're the one who they waited up for. You're the one that they still wait for. And me, I'm the bad guy. So he didn't even really raise them kids because they was raised waiting for him to come home because he was working all the time. Them kids was at the house with Stephanie. And
yeah, I get that, but he was working and he was building that brand. He was building his brand and his company
with her
or his family.
He was building their brand, her company that he stole from her and lied about for years.
Yeah, that too.
Not only that, he didn't do anything but make the pretty dresses. He didn't do the business behind it. He didn't do the financials behind it. He didn't run his household, so he didn't do nothing but draw all day.
It's like Eric got all the glory, but
He
Stephanie got all the shit work of being a real parent.
But that's the balance in it. Honestly, usually that's the way it is. I mean, there's usually not a real 50-50 when it comes to raising of the children. One
No, not really.
has the empathy, and the other parent usually has the boundaries. There's got to be some balance somewhere.
And then get mad at Stephanie because she didn't want to hold her legs up. I'll be tired too. I'm done. You ain't do nothing.
But one of Stephanie's kids really liked her, and that was Rich, and that's because he ain't even Eric. His genes. His genes. Mute your phone, Speedy Gonzalez. Bridge is the only one because I remember in the beginning when the show first started, Felicia was off at college. Kristen was living abroad and she came home because Ridge was fixing to marry Caroline. Could nobody believe Ridge Forrester out here fixing to actually get married? And Kristen came home, and the way that she treated Eric versus the way she treated Stephanie was night and day. And it was
Yes, it was.
like she was doing it on purpose, like, oh.
Yeah, she had an issue with her mom.
Mother.
That should have been some good. That should have been some good
Be
drama.
around
going.
Eric. Oh, Daddy. Daddy, you're so funny. Daddy, I love you so much. Oh, what's mother doing here?
Yeah,
That was really, she was crazy.
I didn't like that.
So how do you guys did you guys enjoy the Triage family scenes today?
I like them. And I like that they hurry up and got it out the way that Steffi is not holding Tom responsible for this entire mess with Sheila.
I was so glad that she was like, I'm not going to put that on you. She's always there for that family, 110%. She ain't going to blame Thomas. She does wish that he had said something, but she does not blame him like Ridge apparently seems to be wanting to do.
Yeah, because
all he is was Brooklyn rotted his
that's
brain.
Again, right. That's the trash he is.
Because it's about Brooke and not really about
Steffi, right? Or Finn.
I just want to let y'all know Flo's jobs. She was a bartender at the Bikini Beach Club, and she was a casino dealer in Las Vegas before coming, and now she has this thing at Force or whatever she does.
Right, but see, all those are jobs in name only. I'm saying, but what does Flo actually do? Somebody. Nothing. She don't do nothing. Ain't nobody seen her do
all
nothing.
these years on the show, and she's very poorly developed. Though, like I said,
I mean, it's just like she's not. The character literally is a empty shell.
I'm still waiting for July to get here, so we're gonna get you up on her not being on here.
I almost feel like she wasn't supposed to be long term, but they decided to tie her and keep her because they like the actress, and then they didn't do anything with the character once they got her.
This is the plausible explanation.
And they still holding on to her. I mean, why won't they just let her go and be free and live her life?
Darlene go. Darlene Conley been dead for over 20 years. They still got this woman chasing men on the beach.
Well, I mean, that's okay because they should. But Felony Flo should have been gone after that 3-month story arc ended. And again, she's still here. She's still here. That Belle needs to let her, Katrina, go and live her life and get better jobs, because these young actors and actresses can go out and find better jobs than this 9 to 5 that Belle got them doing.
I bet she
they can get streaming work.
Oh, both her and Darren Brooks have been doing other things while they haven't really been on screen. So I mean, it's like, I guess in actor speak, it's almost like they're on their contract, but it's almost like they're recurring because they just don't have to show up if they aren't needed, and she hasn't been needed in almost a calendar year.
Right.
She hasn't been needed the whole damn time she's been here.
Somebody had to babysit the baby.
That's Amelia's job.
Babysitting no babies.
But listen, you guys. So, who else was it? Oh, Donna. So, on that live with Jennifer Garris, we were talking to her about her MBA because she went back to school and got her MBA, and folks wanted to know if she was using that for business or whatever, blah, 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 blah. She hasn't yet. But I find it interesting that she said, I decided to leave acting. And when I left acting, I asked myself, what did I want to do? And I don't think anybody else caught that in that live. And I meant to do a follow-up question.
She said she wanted to use her mind.
Right. So I meant to ask her follow-up question, but I got distracted because other questions were popping up. but she said she decided to leave acting. But then Brad Bell called her. And when they call, you don't really say no because, you probably want to do it again at some point if you get bored. But she had left acting, you guys, and they left the door open for her to come back if she wanted to on her terms, I suppose. And that's why we have Donna on screen now.
Well, there's one thing that has been made very clear in the last 40 plus years of daytime is when a bell rings your phone about a soap, you take the call.
That's what everybody say. That's what Ted King said.
Child, it could be Christine. I'm not, her name ain't Christine. What is Cricket's name? Laura Lee. Laura Lee could call and you better take it.
Exactly. It's like, take the call.
She knows the people who know the people. So if Laura Lee is calling you, you better, hey, Cricket, what's up, bud? You better take that call.
How you doing?
So listen, something else. You guys were talking about the actors working. Even Catherine was auditioning while they were on their time off. So all of them have second gigs, which surprises. I mean, I'm not really shocked. But she was auditioning for things then. Of course, they do stuff in other countries like Dancing with the Stars and other little reality shows. I think she did some reality show where she had to escape from something. So they're all working on other things. And I just pulled up Katrina Bowden's IMBD, and honey, don't get it twisted. She worked in 2020. She did 3 projects in 2021. She got 1 project in post-production and another project in pre-production. So she's not just sitting at home waiting on them. Somebody just tried to come in.
That's what I mean.
They all taking second jobs because you can't just sit at home and be like, well, I'm not on script for another 84 weeks.
Exactly. So that's what I mean. Why is he holding her? Just let her go.
I imagine he thinks he has some use for her at some point.
This is silly. And plus, it's not like a point. I could see if it was a Darlene Connolly. Yes, he should do that, but not a Felony Flo.
But see, but that's the thing. He doesn't view Flo like we do, which is as a day player character whose expiration date should have matched up with the conclusion of the Baby Beth story. That's how that role should have gone.
Right.
But I guess they decided they wanted to try to do something more stupidly. And now they've gone ahead. They went ahead and took the extra step. They went ahead and they made her a damn Logan to give her anchor to the canvas. They engaged her to freaking Wyatt in order to give her a romantic anchor of some sort. Which, like I said, those are all mistakes in my opinion.
She's tied to 2 of the biggest families on the scene. And you best believe she's going to be around whether we want her to be around or not, even if it ain't no more than just a name. We'll probably never see Wyatt and Flo get married on screen. They'll probably have a whole damn passel of kids before we see Flo again because they're just not, they know that the fans don't like her, but they're going to keep her because they tired of the people. I wouldn't be hurt if Wyatt came in one day all long-faced to tell Bill and Liam that he and Flo just weren't connecting anymore and that they called it quits and the engagement is off. To me, that's a natural progression because we don't see her anyway, for one thing. The second thing, Wyatt can't ever talk about Flo in a positive manner because Liam is sour, as he should be, because that woman stole his baby and sold it to his ex. Either way, he was still going to be raising that baby. But he can never speak positively about, she actually gave part of her body to Katie, and them people are still like, girl, we don't care. We don't care. I don't care. But Hope is grateful that Aunt Katie is alive, but she DGAF that it was cousin Flo that gave up a part of her body because that same cousin just came off of a stint from stealing her baby, looking her in the face every day for months when they want to talk about what Thomas knew. Flo looked in that girl's face every day for months, knowing that she had took her baby and sold it to somebody else and got the money.
That was the only thing they did right in that whole story, was
Right.
making sure that Hope stayed giving 0 F's about her redemption tour.
Right. So as long as Hope is bitter about Flo, Liam is going to be bitter about Flo. Bill has to have a taint of bitterness, even though he'll follow whatever Katie and Brooke want because that girl saved Katie's life. But as long as Hope is sour, they can never talk positively about her. She can never be on screen because why? What are they going to try to make her try to make up to Hope every time they see her? Don't nobody want to see her begging every time she's on screen because she's trying to get back in Hope's good graces. That's exactly what she would be doing if we saw her every day. Liam, can you please? I mean, you're a reasonable person, and you guys, you know, Beth is happy, and you guys have a wonderful marriage now. Can you please just talk to Hope? She would be like Brooke going to Eric to tell Ridge to take his ass back home. Flo would be in Liam's face all the time. And you know what happens when Liam needs to save the day? He gonna end up fucking somebody. So then he would end up having sex with Flo by mistake, of course, because you know he don't never have sex with nobody on purpose. It's always
And nothing ain't ever his fault.
it ain't his fault. And so he would end up having sex with Flo. Where now Hope really has a reason to hate her because she stole a baby. Now she's fucking a man and she pregnant too. Hey, Liam is the new Nick Cannon.
Yeah, but what
Yeah.
good did that do? I mean, what good does that do? She's
None.
the felon still floated up in there in Forrester Creation, got Don to Logan and given her clearly what every Logan is entitled to is a position of Forrester Creations. And so still with Hope hating her, she's still Queen Bee. Floating up in here, got everything she want, got Sally's man and about to marry him. She got a position that she didn't damn work for. I mean, so the point at the end of the day is why have her around at all? No,
And
who
I'm not
cares about Flo? Who cares about Flo?
Wow.
I mean, I don't know who cares about Flo. I mean, Flo came in and she upset all of the fan bases at the same time. Why is Belle?
I
keeping
guess
her
it's because
around
technically
to do-
she's not around. Because remember, she has not been
But he's
seen on
threatening. He's
camera since
threatening
July.
by keeping Katrina Bowden on contract or on recurring or whatever it may be. He's threatening to heave that character on us. For what? Who wants her? I really want to know the answer to that question. Why is he dressing up the pig? Nobody wants it.
Because that's what Brad Bell does. Hell, how often have we
I
had
don't
to
know.
put
I
up with
don't know what
characters that
I
aren't
don't
worth
know
a
what
damn?
I need to do on a Bold Live for them to understand that it needs to go. That felon needs to go. It overstayed its welcome when that story ended.
And I don't disagree with you, but that was their way of opening up the dating pool because Wyatt needed somebody. They weren't gonna they were not going to save Sally, which is what they should have done. I feel like they should have saved Sally. And if I'm being honest, I feel like Dr. Peloton probably should have stayed over Flo because now Sally has friends. Even though it's a harsh friendship, they gonna end up being friends because of the circumstances. Maybe they're more frenemies, you know, they tolerate each other's presence, but they're still cordial and friendly to each other because they went through this shit together. Like I would have rather seen her stay around and have some sort of interaction with somebody than to just keep Flo that nobody really wants. And the
I had
only
any use for.
And the more they tried to dress her up, I think is what angers me. The more they did to try to make her acceptable was just the thing that just made me hate her more. I mean, I don't think anybody would believe that I actually liked Flo in the beginning. In the beginning, when Flo was stealing babies, trying to sleep with Mr. Buckingham, and didn't give a damn about nothing but rolling around in money, I was all for Flo.
she was interesting then.
You goddamn right. I was all for Flo then. When they had Flo, looking sad and long faced all day, every day, talking about the baby and Hope and Beth, and then to find out she a Logan on top of that, and then after that, she takes Wyatt's Sally's man, and then after that she gets a job. I mean, this thing that came in and did such despicable things, you just rolling out the red carpet for. I mean, characterized, she's getting every damn thing. Why is she getting it?
Because she gave that Aunt Katie a piece of her kidney.
She was getting that before the kidney, though. Before the kidney, after she stole it, when I liked her, what happened to make me stop liking the felon? She had did all her dirt. She went to work at the bikini bar one day. That very first day she was at the bikini bar, she overheard Hope and somebody talking and crying about Beth. That's when I started disliking the felon. Now, all of a sudden, she has a conscience, knowing all the time that she knew the lady's name that had done gave up, that had her baby stolen and handed a dead baby. She knew when she signed those papers in front of Carter that baby was not hers, and she thought back on the story. She knew and she did all that. But this is the one you want to take a man from Sally and give to, and then don her with some Logan name like that's supposed to mean something to anybody, and then get her in a job at Forrester. It's like they just keep doing the most to make this character have the world when nobody likes her.
But none of it works.
That's perfect with her name. That's what they do with Fort Hogan's, right? They give them everything without working for it.
And I didn't say that, but at the end of the day, what other excuse is there?
Exactly. And just like she didn't feel bad when she went and cashed that check at all. She didn't even try to give it back. She ain't
the kick of it is that despite their many efforts, donated organs, reworked paternity, the whole 9 yards, none of it did any good, did it? Nobody on the general level, Flo is one of the. I don't see nobody tweeting where's Flo.
And when they do, it's only because they bore it with something else. Because listen, what is Flo? I mean, how does she impact any story that's happening right now? How has Flo impacted any story actually that's happened in the last year?
Just like Queen Weaver just said, they rewarding her basically for her bad behavior. That is typical what they always do for her namesake. Like all the time. What do they do? They always reward Hogan's for their bad behaviors and punish the Forrester girls.
Yep.
Well, in this case, her reward didn't net her much because that's the thing. Flo has not had a real storyline, a real story since Sally's departure from the show, where they had her faking her illness. Yeah, they had Wyatt, propose to her, but Flo hasn't been a part, not even a peripheral part on the edges of any story since long before she stopped appearing in July of last year.
Exactly.
So she's like window dressing that they never bring out.
Yeah,
they know
like,
they
to me,
they know
I
they
think
screwed
I'm
this up.
infuriated just by the threat of the felon. I'm infuriated just of the threat that she could reappear because she's still on recurring. And that ain't nothing against Katrina, because clearly she is working.
I got a feeling she going to end up stealing another baby.
No,
if she reappears,
I got a feeling she's gonna stay gone.
She's
they're
still
gonna keep her gone.
I don't remember. It's her and Denise still in the beginning credits.
Yeah.
I know Denise is not in the ending credits anymore. I don't know about the beginning. Yeah, both of them still
Their
in the beginning
pictures
credits.
still in the opening ones, though.
Yeah, both of them still in the opening.
But, and on that note, it is 9:00, so I need to be peacing out.
We are all peacing out at 9:00. We're gonna keep to our schedule. Thank you guys for tonight. We will come and chop it up again tomorrow. This was fun. We have fun. So I'm glad that y'all are here having fun with me.
Of course.
Yes, absolutely. I look forward to it.
I know, especially since it looks like we're actually in a position to have 3 different stories to watch go off all at the same time. So hey, that's all the more interesting.
Yep.
And I'm real excited. ABC storylines and new camera work and editing. It's beautiful.
Beautiful thing.
Amen.
So I guess we will do this again tomorrow night, 7:00, y'all. Hopefully, we'll all be here.
All right.
Yes.
Good night.
Yes,
All right,
ma'am. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Thanks, Bubbles.
Thanks, guys. Good night.